entry list for the 2021 WRC Safari Rally Kenya. It is the first time we have such an opportunity as a country, as a continent in 19 years. So it is a great moment for all of us Kenyans, all of us in the continent of Africa, and generally in the entire motorsporting fraternity in the world. Before I get into the entry list, I would like to introduce the people in this team, starting with Ian Campbell, who is our expert looking after the interest of FIA. Then just behind, I have Anthony Gatei, who is the service park manager working with WRC Safari Rally Kenya. And I have Anwar Sidi, who is in charge of media and route liaison. Then I have Nazili Yakub, who is the deputy clerk, of course. Then I have Musa Locho, who is our technical delegate, in charge of all technical matters relating to the rally cars and all other parts that are used to make sure that the cars are able to cover the course. Then I have Dom Sanders from the UK, who is one of our consultants in the area of planning and logistics of the rally. My name is Phineas Kimathi, the CEO of the WRC Safari Rally Kenya. I also double up as the president of motorsports in Kenya. So without wasting much time, we have a total of 58 entries, and out of these entries, we have 3 manufacturers' teams, beginning with the reigning or the defending champions, Toyota Gazoo Racing, and they were quite generous to give us a replica car just to be part of this event. Let me just thank Toyota Gazoo Racing for making sure that we have the opportunity to enjoy this kind of beautiful machines. I'll tell you a story about the car after the entry list has been concluded. On top of that, we have Hyundai, and they've entered 4 cars. And then we have M-Sport. M-Sport, they have quite a number of cars in the WRC category and also in the Rally 3 category. Now, the oldest entrant in this rally, driver, is 91 years old, and the youngest is 20 years old. So we will see who has a greater advantage, the experienced one or the young one. That will be interesting to watch. All our top drivers in Kenya are present, but before I talk about our top drivers in Kenya, I'd like to mention that we have 2 drivers who have had the opportunity to become world champions in the name of Sebastian Ogier and Ot Tanak. So these drivers will be part of the starting list, and they have been entered by their respective teams. Ot Tanak has been entered by Hyundai Shell Mobs World Rally Team, and Ogier has been entered by Toyota Gazoo Racing. For purposes of just mentioning some of our local drivers who have entered this event, we have Onkarai, Carl Tundo, Tajvia Rai, among others. We also have a class of the cars that were used to, the Mitsubishi Evo 10s, and a previous winner, Baldev Chaga, is part of this. Let me just mention that we have R3 cars entered locally, but in the international segment, and these are 3 cars are Ford Fiestas, and I'm sure when you're doing your story, because this information is available in a comprehensive manner, you will be able to highlight some of those young people. The requirement of entering in the FIWRC Rally Star program is that first of all you have to be under 27 years. So I need to emphasize this so that we don't get questions tomorrow, why didn't we pick our national champion to be in this category? It's simply because they have seen more sunrises than the procedures recommend. Without wasting much time, I will ask the Deputy Clerk of Course, Nazil Yakub, to just say something about the final preparations and the route. Then after that, we will take a few questions and conclude this press briefing. Nazil.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just a quick update on the route. It remains as is, which is how it should be. We had a challenge with rain. Hopefully by now things have settled down. We have a route inspection recce going on with the team behind me. We'll be looking at the route again tomorrow in preparation in case there's anything that needs doing before the event itself. But we are confident and obviously very excited. I'm sure everybody is. It's a fantastic entry we have. I think Bona CEO underplayed that fact, but it's absolutely a fantastic entry. This is an unknown crop of drivers coming to an unknown challenge. So I think we need to be very, very proud of that. We need to be very proud of the efforts that have gone into making sure this happens. The material team is actually here. The only person missing is the clerk, of course, who's right now busy putting pen to paper on what's remaining. So beyond that, we had an earlier recce, as you know. We'll be running stages on the Moy North Lake Road, Moy South Lake Road, and Soisambu Conservancy. I'm sure you know the names of the stages, but we're glad to answer any questions you have on that. So yes, and thank you. Questions? We'll take any questions you may have now. Please direct them to the person you want to respond, maybe Ian Campbell. Mr. General.
Yeah. My question is to Ian. How would you evaluate this entry list compared to what you have seen, and especially Rally GD?
I mean, it's a fantastically competitive entry list that's come through, and we can see the quality through the field. I have to say that maybe I was pessimistic, but I'm shocked and overwhelmed to see 58 entries, coming through, and to see that kind of competition in 4 weeks' time. And remember, it is only 4 weeks' time on the stages is going to be quite something. And it's the first overseas event that the World Rally Championship has had since March 2020. So yeah, and as Nazir has said, everything is a new challenge to the crews, to the cars, and to everybody else in the stages. So yeah, a lot of work to be done, but the team are right behind it, and like I say, the competition will be good.
Another question here. Can you elaborate on the development project that is between Port and WRC Safari Rally Secretariat?
Sorry?
You kindly elaborate on development project that is between Port and WRC Safari Rally Secretariat.
I think that's definitely a question for the CEO.
Any other question to me?
Are there any plans to get some of the young upcoming drivers go to train or drive with some of the major international rally teams?
Right. Let me just make something very clear. The FIA has an ambitious program globally to develop young talent in motorsports in different disciplines. It's not just rally. It's digital motorsports, it's rallycross, it is autocross, it is karting, it is slalom. So that is ongoing in different parts of the world, and in Kenya we have developed a partnership between FIA, WRC, and a number of corporates who are interested in ensuring that the future of motorsports in Kenya is not doomed by just having the current crop of drivers retire and we don't have our own champions. The cars, yes, are coming from Motorsports Poland, and these 3 cars will be locally sponsored by local corporates to make sure that this team has a budget, and we are in discussions to ensure that these young drivers who have been picked purely on merit have an opportunity, or the best opportunity, to train in the best places in the world and to compete where possible with the best drivers in the world. Like I've said, the requirements were very, very stringent because the cutoff age was put at 27. This information is available on the FIA website. It is possible for you to actually log in and search for FIA Rally Star program. So a lot more information will become available when we finalize with the plans to give these youngsters a great exposure. So I'm sure that suffices for an answer.
I see you have talked of containers. Maybe when the shipment happening.
Now we're not talking about shipment. I was delayed in Nairobi because I was told the television equipment is sailing ahead of time by 2 days. So we will have the containers from NEP, Finland, docking in Mombasa on Monday, the 31st. On the 3rd, we have a huge consignment that is coming from Europe, and the whole week we will be consolidating all these containers, and we'll use the SGR, one train to be specific, to rail these containers to Naivasha dry port, and we'll pick those containers and place them at the service park at KWSTI beginning the 12th of June, ready for the rally.
Then maybe CEO, we've seen quite a number of new drivers take interest in the sport, a good record number the last 2 or 3 days. What can you attribute this as being?
Well, generally, by just getting the safari back onto the world map or into the family of WRC, you elevate the profile of the event. It moves from being a national event or being a regional event to a global event. So anybody who wants to get visibility, may that person be a competitor, may that corporate be a sponsor, they will always choose to be part of such an event. In fact, it's just that I don't want to talk about how many of these new drivers have gotten sponsors, because then the respective corporates have their own arrangements to unveil these drivers. I can tell you that you'll see several companies that you have not seen in motorsports for many years participating by way of sponsoring drivers. Obviously, I wish to reconfirm that our event sponsors remain the government of the Republic of Kenya, led by His Excellency President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, who is also the patron of this event. And then we have corporates led by KCB Group, who have put in 100 million shillings to get this event going. And we have Kenya Airways, and we have Toyota Kenya, who have come on board as event sponsors. The other sponsors for various programs will be announcing their partnerships as we go on.
Then maybe finally, quite a lot of infrastructure you put in the place, the service park. Are you planning to do all these for future events?
The developments that you have seen around KWSTI are meant to host 3 different WRC Safari Rally events. 2021, 22, and 2023. Beyond that, I'm sure we will discuss and agree on additional years, believing that we will get it all right beginning June this year.
Then maybe there was also another big concern from the drivers. How can we make rallying more affordable in terms of entry and ensuring that more participants are able to be routing the field?
This is an interesting question. I had wanted to be running 100 meters when I was young, and I was tempted to ask, how can you make this race slower so that I can get a position? Rallying is about machines and human beings. Machines cost money, and machines will continue to cost money. Racing human beings is not so difficult, and getting them into existence is also not very difficult. So I would not want to address how I can make rallying cheaper. This car here costs a lot of money, and for anybody to excel in motorsports, you have really to acquire these machines. But the beauty is that if you can't afford rallying, you can afford football, you can afford rugby, you can afford athletics, and you can also play volleyball. So let's choose our sports wisely.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. We are done. Thank you.
Thank you. Good.
So it's B o'clock now.
Can we go and just finish with the other bit?
The reality is, safari has started.
Yeah.
As of today, the safari has started.
Imagine he had promised me a trip to Nairobi now. What happened? Promised me a trip to Nairobi. I thought it was me out there.
We are at the Lake Naivasha Resort, and we just have here the 2021. We've just gotten that, the 2021 FIA, that is the entry list for the WRC Safari Rally, the 2021 FIA WRC Safari Rally entry list here that has been announced. It's such an exciting moment for Kenya because we'll be seeing so many drivers coming in from across the world, but then just also for those top drivers. Let's talk about Toyota Gazoo Racing. Here's like the GR Yaris just behind me, and we have the likes of Sebastian Ogier coming in. We have Kale Rovanpera, who's just 20 years old, and the dad took part in the 2001 Safari Rally. That is Hale Rovanpera. So they'll be coming in under Toyota Gazoo Racing. Let's now also move out to another manufacturer, that is the Hyundai Motorsport, and we'll have the likes of Thierry Neuville coming into the country, or Titanak. So it's quite an exciting moment. But then let's talk about other rally drivers, that is the Kenyan local rally drivers who will be taking part in this event in other categories, not the main one, not the WRC one, but other categories. We have the reigning Kenyan champion, that is Baldev Chaga. We have the likes of, Onkarai with his brother, that is Tajveer Rai. We'll see them on that. They are on the list, and it's such an exciting moment for Kenya. We have also the youngings, because even the WRC Safari Rally CEO, Phineas Kimathi, has about the young drivers who are supposed to continue this sport, who are supposed to continue putting Kenya on the map. We have Hamza Anwar, we have Makriki Mathi, and yes, so it's quite a big list, and I know so many people are looking forward to their favorite drivers. We have Eric Bengi on there. We will still have even Laban Cliff with Roy Smith, who are on one team. So it's quite a big list, you know, a big list of entries, and this is going on. That has just been announced a couple of minutes ago here at the Lake Naivasha Resort.